The female CEO signed to freeze all assets under her husband's name. Then she set a trap to make him take on hundreds of millions of dollars in debt. Finally, she set fire to the wedding dress she wore when they got married. She decided to completely part ways with her husband, and the reason for her resoluteness was entirely due to her husband's own doing. It turned out that 3 days earlier, the woman had returned home early from a business trip, wanting to surprise her husband for their 7th wedding anniversary. But as soon as she walked in, she saw her husband being intimate with his intern secretary. The secretary was even wearing her own wedding dress. The woman immediately questioned her husband about what was going on, but her husband casually said that the secretary needed to wear a wedding dress for her graduation project to find inspiration. Upon hearing this, the woman angrily asked them, with so many bridal shops in the city, why the secretary had to wear her wedding dress in her bedroom. The secretary then pretended to be innocent and said that the man had helped her try on many wedding dresses, but she still had no inspiration. It was all her fault for being too stupid, and begged the woman not to blame the man. Watching the secretary's pretentious act, the woman could no longer bear it and slapped her directly, scolding her for not playing such petty tricks. When the man saw this, he was about to lose his temper, but a servant suddenly came over and said that the secretary's belongings had been packed up, and the woman's things had been moved to the guest room. The woman was instantly stunned. Only then did her husband explain that the secretary's house had a water leak, so she had moved in to stay for a few days. He hadn't expected his wife to come back early. Seeing this, the secretary also pretended to be aggrieved and said that if she had known the woman would be unhappy, she would rather sleep on the street than move in. As she spoke, she was about to leave in a fit of grievance, but her husband pulled her back and wouldn't let her go, claiming that the house was under his name, and he had the right to let anyone live there. Upon hearing this, the woman laughed angrily, questioning her husband about which item in this house she hadn't given him. Even the house was transferred to his name specifically by her back then to save his face. Her husband was left speechless at once, but at that moment, the woman noticed her torn clothes, the first gift her husband had bought her with 3 months' salary, and in the trash can beside them, there were also the photos of her and her husband. Seeing this, the secretary quickly explained that she had accidentally torn the clothes while packing, and the photos had also accidentally fallen into the trash can. But even such a clumsy lie was not seen through by her husband, who even urged his wife to be more magnanimous and not blame the secretary. It was only then that the woman realized it was not just the secretary seducing her husband unilaterally, but her husband also intentionally indulging the secretary. So she directly ordered her husband to fire the secretary within half an hour, otherwise she would do it herself. However, her husband thought his wife's words had made him lose face in front of the secretary, so he completely ignored the woman's ultimatum and directly pulled the secretary away. So the woman no longer showed any mercy. She immediately made a phone call to take back all of her husband's projects, and also had the secretary's actions exposed, and fired her directly from the company. The company colleagues soon learned about this, and those who had long disliked the secretary mocked her, saying she deserved it. As a result, the secretary went straight to the man and falsely accused the woman of ruining her reputation. Enraged by this, the man rushed into the woman's office.